Before the days of safety harnesses and modern fall protection, before modern regulations and the safety standards we know today, before the days when hard hats became the standard safety gear, there were the skyboys of New York. In the early decades of the 20th century, New York City was racing upward. Steel towers began rising higher and higher into the sky as architects and engineers competed to build the tallest structures on Earth. But while history remembers the buildings, it often forgets the men who built them. Thousands of steelworkers climbed into the clouds every day to assemble the skeletons of the modern skyline. Walking narrow steel beams hundreds of feet above the streets below, they balanced with a confidence that almost seems impossible today. No safety nets, no harnesses, no fall protection. Just steel, wind, and gravity. Photographs from the era almost look unreal now. Workers sitting casually on beams suspended over Manhattan. Men eating lunch with their legs dangling over open air. Crews carrying heavy tools while balancing above streets that look like tiny lines far below. To modern eyes, it feels insane. But for many of those workers, it was simply the job. Much of the labor force came from immigrant communities and working-class families who needed the paycheck no matter how dangerous the work became. And many of these workers lived in crowded tenements, motivated by the hope of a better life in America. Among the most famous were Mohawk ironworkers whose skill and fearlessness earned them legendary reputations. Some workers said they eventually stopped thinking about the height altogether. Others admitted the fear never truly went away, because one mistake, one missed step, one loose grip could mean death. Accidents happened often on these busy, chaotic, historical construction sites. Steel beams swung through the air attached to cranes while crews guided them into place by hand. Red-hot rivets were heated in portable furnaces and tossed through open air from one worker to another before being hammered into place while still glowing. The noise alone was overwhelming. Steam whistles, hammer strikes, engines, wind rushing between unfinished towers. And the overwhelming noise of the construction site was a constant companion to their daily lives. And all of it happening hundreds of feet above the city below. Yet despite the danger, these workers helped create some of the most iconic structures in American history. The mighty steel skeleton of the Empire State Building as it rose above the city. The sharp spire of the Chrysler Building reaching for the stars. The rising towers of Rockefeller Center. The skyline itself became a monument to men whose names most people would never know. Many photographs from the era survive today, frozen moments of impossible-looking balance and courage. And those images only capture a fraction of what daily life was actually like. Extreme weather, constant danger, and no guarantee they would make it home. And the price they paid helped build the world we see today. But those images only capture a fraction of what daily life was actually like for the workers themselves. Long hours, extreme weather, constant danger, and no guarantee they would make it home at the end of the day. Still, they climbed. Because for many families, those paychecks mattered more than fear. Today, modern skyscraper construction includes strict safety systems, harnesses, helmets, and regulations that exist because generations of workers paid the price before those protections were created. But when people look up at the skyline of New York City, they are still looking at the work of the skyboys, men who walked above the clouds on narrow beams of steel and helped build the modern world one rivet at a time. Thanks for spending a few minutes around the fire with me tonight. If stories like this interest you, consider subscribing and joining us again for the next Campfire Conversation. The fire never dies as long as people keep showing up. I'm Christy, and I'll see you next time.